What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Opposites Attract podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting here next to my husband,
Miguel Ramirez. What's going on, babe?
What's up, babe?
We've had a good week.
Sure did.
Yeah.
It's Mother's Day.
It is Mother's Day. That's the first thing we wanted to mention today on Mother's Day. We're recording this on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day to my mom. I love you, Mom.
And my mom as well. We love you to pieces.
Yeah, you guys are great. We love you guys. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there that are listening. And, I mean, without the mothers, none of us would be here.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So that's awesome. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. So what's so cool about, well, not just so cool, but I was surprised with the amazing gift from my husband and my children.
That we're returning to Costco.
What? Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about?
The flowers.
Oh, yeah. Well, the flowers were, that was cute. I liked them, but they're already dying. It was
cute.
like a day later. No, but what's I'm so excited about is that your artist, your favorite artist, and my favorite artist are coming together
For a concert.
Okay, and he surprised me with tickets. And so
yeah,
Mary
we're gonna
J.
go
Blige and Nas.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
And we've seen them both before.
But not together.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, yeah, it worked
crazy?
out perfect.
Yeah,
that
but
they're both coming
Right.
together
And they're
for
both
a concert.
our favorite artists.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
baby, we're just meant to be.
Yeah.
And my children surprised me with this Joey with the book and this super cute coaster, and my daughter with a card and a little vase with flowers. So it was a very beautiful surprise. Yeah.
And we did it early.
You're so thoughtful. You're very thoughtful. My
Thanks,
card
babe.
was very sweet.
You like it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we celebrated it a little early. We did it on Friday.
I know.
Well, we gave you everything on Friday. I mean, yeah, it's a great time or a great day to recognize mothers. But this shit was created by the Hallmark Corporation to make some.
Thank you, Hallmark.
These cards, these cards are getting out of hand.
Expensive.
Holy crap! For a little piece of paper,
Okay, so you know what?
like $8.
You know what? I would enjoy even more.
What's that? A handmade card. Oh my god!
Write me a song, baby, like you did.
Aw. You know,
Save some
no,
money.
it's true.
Write it in a song. Put it in a
it's
song.
nicer, more effort.
Yes.
But man, they're making money hand over fist.
They sure are.
So yeah,
Yeah. And so after this, we're going to go visit my mom, and then we're going to celebrate your mom when she comes into town. Miguel's mom lives in Florida, so
yeah.
Miguel's the only child from his mom, and very...
She'll be coming next month to hang out with us for a little while.
Yes.
So that'll be fun.
Well, so this morning I woke up a little, I don't know, emotional.
Sentimental.
I was very much so. Shut up. I have water here. I'm going to throw it at you. But I just started thinking about all the moms out there that, I don't know, like my sister's she passed away, and
Yeah.
my niece and my nephews are waking up this morning, and, their mom is watching
Not here.
over them, but
Yeah.
she's not here. And there's so many we're celebrating, but there are some mothers out there that, it's hard for them to celebrate because their mom is not
Or grandparents.
here.
My
or
grandmother,
grandparents.
Yeah.
Or maybe moms that, yeah. So anyways,
So happy Mother's Day to them too.
yes, definitely.
So this is going to be the sad cast.
No, it's not. Though I was feeling sad
You were.
today.
Yeah.
I was. I think I'm just shaking it off.
With the wine.
Thank you to Merlot. People are going to be like, that girl's a drunk every time on the podcast.
I don't know how you do it.
You guys think that's water. That's not water.
It's vodka.
Anyways, we're not a drunk.
So how was your week,
I'm not
babe?
drunk.
You had a great week. You had a lot of new things going on this week.
Yeah, a lot of change, a lot of challenges, doing things that are definitely out of my comfort zone. And I mean, I've been speaking for quite some time.
Yeah. Well, speaking in front of people.
I think more so now. And So I was invited to go speak to Peralta School on Friday.
Elementary school.
Elementary.
Right?
Yes. I was thinking it was a high school at first. And then I realized when I called my friend Christina, she's like, oh, no, they're kinder to fifth. And I'm like, oh, like there's some changes that I need to make.
Yeah.
You know, your vocabulary, just breaking it down so that they understand like what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous about it. And then when I walked in, when she said I was a keynote speaker, I'm like, oh, cool, keynote speaker. But I didn't know that I was actually the keynote speaker for the beginning of the day. Like I was setting the tone for the rest of the day. And not only were the students there, but you had all the teachers and some parents in there. And so,
yeah.
But it went very well.
You did really good. There's a video of it. Or did you post it on the Facebook group?
I did. She posted it and then I shared it.
In the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no. Not in the group. My personal page.
Oh, okay.
But maybe I should.
Yeah, maybe you can post it on there. Well, yeah. I mean, we're talking about it here. So I think it's like the video's a few minutes, but it was a good video.
It was about 6 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But it's great because I look at the video and I realize that when I get nervous, and even on here, you may hear me say a certain word like right or
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get better at that. And in that video, I kept saying, right? Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, see, it's because I'm very cautious of it now.
Yeah.
You know, and so our daughter, talked to them a little bit about that, like what's been going on with her.
Well, you said that somebody they were teasing her about the way she speaks, or her grammar, the way she speaks. Yeah. Yes. And she has this thing, and you know what?
That was so frustrating.
It was
It was like totally.
It was super frustrating. Frustrating. But yeah, in case you guys don't know, we had my best friend Stevens was taking a couple jabs at Sonja for.
He's just a hater because I took his boy. That's all. It's always a competition with him. But hey, I got the ring, buddy.
And then somebody at work also mentioned it. But you know what? This is something that we've talked about before, though. With you doing the public speaking, like sometimes with the sayings, I think I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the extrovertedness. Like you're always so high energy. Not to say like that you're not thinking about what you're saying, but I think you're thinking about like where you're going, but not specifically on the exact words that you're picking to say, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just, I remember being her age and having the same issue. So I'm not the best when it comes to, I don't know, whether it's my vocabulary or my grammar. You'll hear me say some stuff and you're like, I think she meant to say
something else, or like a different type of saying.
Right. And so it's always been hard for me to express myself, like what I'm feeling, because of the lack of confidence that I have in myself. Because of my lack of grammar, vocabulary, or whatever it may be. Maybe it's a bit of dyslexia too, like seriously.
So like, for example, like, oh, maybe they're not the brightest or the sharpest crayon in the box when you actually meant to say the brightest crayon in the box. Or, you know,
right.
You kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
When somebody's like, kind of throws you off a little bit.
Right. So anyways, my daughter had mentioned to me that she was getting picked on because of her grammar. And so
there's this kid, he picks on her. He messes with everybody.
Yeah. I told her just to choke him out.
That's what I said.
Some jiu-jitsu.
She said there's this kid that's always like, he was making fun of the way I speak.
Yes.
And I said, did you armbar him? And she said, no, Dad. No. And we don't condone. No.
Okay. So.
I mean, they're allowed to defend themselves if something goes down, but they need to avoid it at all costs. Yes. But,
so what I did with her was I shared the video with her, and there's a part where I paused because I was stumbling over my words, and sometimes you'll find me doing that. But Miguel is amazing because he'll come in and he'll know what I'm trying to say, so he'll finish my sentence. I don't know if that's a married thing or what. Anyways,
I don't know.
So I showed her the video so that she can see, and I was telling her, baby, I have that same issue, and it's okay. Like, you have a voice, and it's very important that you express yourself. And I told her, I said, listen, read more, write more, because I think that I've gotten a lot better, especially like with punctuation. But I'll notice I'll put a post on Facebook and I'll reread it. And I'm like, oh, crap. I was so excited to post it up. But that I reread it and I'm like, oh, that's not what I meant. I think
that happens to like, there's a lot of times if I post something, I'll see something. I'm like, oh, crap. I need to go back and edit it and fix it, Yeah.
And the thing of it is, like, when you asked me, I think today you're talking to me about Stevens, I'm going to beat you up. Anyways, about the whole frustrated. So I spelt it for him. And it's like, I know it's frustrated, but I don't know. I was saying frustrated.
You know what? So when I was talking to Audrey about that, you were in the shower and we were in the room. And I asked Audrey, I was like, so what's a word for when you're getting mad and irritated at the same time? And she's like, she couldn't get it. And I told her it starts with an F. And she's like, I don't know. And then I was like, and then she's like, frustrated. And I'm like, yes, exactly the same. I'm like, what is it? And then I was like, hold on a second. I was like, come over, because she was on the other side of the room.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, I just thought about it right now. But she was on the other side of the room, and I told her, come here. And then she comes over. I was like, how do you say it? She's like, frustrated. I'm like, come here. And she like gets close to me, and I'm like looking at her lips, and she's like, frustrated.
She's
and
like,
I'm like,
Daddy,
wait.
You're making me frustrated.
But I'm like, okay, it's not frustrated.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you spell it? And I think she spelled it right. Like it's FR. And she's like, frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, that's it.
So anyways, the whole point of this conversation is don't take yourself so serious.
It's all good.
It is like, I know what I have to work on. And those are the things, that and that's what I do. So, and because I'm at that point in my life where I'm just very truthful with myself and others. Like, I try to be as vulnerable as I can so that I can help others have breakthroughs. Because I know I'm not the only one. I know Audrey's not the only one.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. And we were talking about, like, the kids getting picked on. Like Joey getting, like, you bought him the Yoo-Hoos for his lunch.
Yes.
And the other kids, it's not even picking on him. They weren't picking on him. They were just.
It's like a joke.
They were saying Yahoo.
Maybe
like,
he doesn't
I don't know
the
if
difference.
it's like the Yahoo advertisements on TV, the commercials or whatever. But he didn't like them talking about, like, or I don't know.
He
just didn't like it. He thought they were teasing him.
Right.
And he didn't want to drink them anymore, even though he liked it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then I was asking Audrey about that boy. I was like, how did it make you feel when he was, teasing you about the way you talk? And she's like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But Joey doesn't want to drink the chocolate milk, the Yoo-Hoos anymore because they, he
takes
thought
it
they
to
were
heart.
teasing. Yes. But then we were talking about like how, like, different ways to handle it. Like Audrey, she's like, whatever, I don't care. And then we keep referencing back to these Jocko books, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have kids, I think these are a must if you have little kids. Don't you think?
No, totally.
They are
there's
great
so many
books.
lessons
There's a lot of great lessons.
And hey, if you're an adult as well, like, holy cow,
seriously.
I'm like, that's great. I think I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. So in the book, they talk about this kid, Mark, and he's getting picked on by one of his classmates. Now, he does jujitsu, so he can't pick on him physically, but this kid's always messing with him mentally, like messing with him. And if he does anything, he goes to the teacher. So anyway, in the book, he calls him plate face. He's always, hey, plate face, because he said his head is round and his face is flat or whatever. I don't know. But he calls him plate face, and he doesn't like it. The kid, Mark, does not like it. And in the book, his uncle, who's a Navy SEAL, tells him that you have to kind of play with it. Like if you joke around, if he says that you're a plate face and you joke around like, yeah, you're a plate face, then, I kind of do look like a plate face. Instead of getting mad, then it kind of counteracts the teasing. So when he was in an art class, he drew himself as a little profile face. And he drew himself as a plate face, and he showed it to the kid that was teasing him, and they both started laughing.
Right.
And it's not a big deal anymore.
Because if they see that
it affects you.
Yes, then they're going to keep poking. They're going to keep poking.
Yeah. So, and I was mentioning to you, like, me, like when somebody says something, I don't know, it really doesn't, it's like whatever.
It doesn't affect him. He's like just he's a different
I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't bother. I mean, some things do, I guess, but there's not a lot that does.
Yeah.
And, or you know what? Maybe if it's something true, if it's something that's actually true, then I'm like, shit.
You're right. You're right. Because earlier I was talking about something and you're like, you make me seem like an asshole. Like that is a trigger for you. That is something where, that affects you. Like if I say something like, you have a bad temper.
I don't know. But
it does annoy you.
Maybe.
No, it does.
Okay. You trying to get me mad now?
Let me show
you. What are you doing?
Let me show you. I'm right. You're wrong. Let's do another poll.
No, but what I was thinking, was at work, some of the guys, like I have these old pair of sunglasses that I leave at work, and outside, we work outside sometimes, and it gets super bright, and I don't know, they're these big glasses.
I like them. I think you look good in them.
Yeah.
They're just being haters.
And they're just like, where'd you get those glasses? Are those your wife's glasses? Oh, look at him. He looks like J-Lo. Like he starts talking, they start talking crap, and I'm like, all right, what? Like I don't care. Yeah. It's like, what am I gonna go do? Buy new glasses for you guys? Like I don't give a crap, right?
Right.
So whatever. It doesn't. And I throw them on, and I freaking walk around, and I look at everybody. I'm like, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So
everything. It has to do with confidence. Like if you have the confidence, people are attracted to confidence.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's something if we work on with Audrey, with the whole jujitsu and letting her know that, hey, it's okay. Like we were made, to not be perfect. We're all imperfect.
Yeah.
There's something that we all have to work on. And as long as you're okay with your imperfections, you embrace it and work on it. Dude, come on, let me have my moment. I swear
Go for it.
I'm going to stab you with my pen.
See, this is where we balance each other out. You were getting on a roll there.
I was, but you don't allow
What'd you
me.
do? Go.
No, you just, you blocked me, you hater.
So we were all born different, but beautiful in a different way. Now go.
I lost it. Shut up. Go to the next one, you jerk.
So anyway, it was
you guys get me.
Yeah,
my listeners, they get me, and you knew where I was going.
What you're saying is true. I just like to make fun.
You do.
But no, I think different people, they handle it in different ways.
Right.
Some people really take that stuff to heart, and and it can be serious. And then like Audrey, it's just like whatever.
She says that, but let me tell you.
But maybe it builds up.
I think maybe with us, it's not whatever, because you can, if you read her facial expressions, like when it comes from us, like her total demeanor just shuts. I don't know if it's like that at school. I mean, I feel that, she's told me before, like she was really sad and she started crying. Yeah. So it does affect her, but maybe that boy irritates her. So she doesn't really care what he says. But if it's somebody that's close to her, yes. And
like
that's the same thing with me,
I guess that's with everything. If an asshole says something, you're like, you don't
whatever,
really care.
Jerk.
But if it's somebody that you love or somebody that's close to you that says something, it's different. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I would say is just have that close relationship with your children so that they feel close enough to come to you when a situation is happening like that. Mm-hmm. Because that when I started opening up to her, I just started talking to her this morning, and that's when she brought that up. Well, I never heard about that, but I noticed that when we're talking to her about something, she's trying to explain something to us or describe something to us, and we're like, Audrey, what are you saying? Because her words are all backwards. Like she shuts down and she looks down and she's like, never mind. So that's something that we need to work on, is being sensitive to that and helping her
express herself.
Yes.
Yeah. Earlier in the week, I was something came up about like disciplining the kids, and I remember there's been situations in the past, not very often, and we've talked about like spanking the kids and that sort of thing, and it's not something that we do. I mean, it happens from time to time, but it's not the primary.
We don't use la chancleta.
La chancleta or the...
Though I know what it is.
Yeah. or the belt, but none of that. Even though we've been on the other end of some of those techniques.
Yes, right.
And we turned out all right. So what's the right way to do it?
I don't know, man. I'm ready to get a fly swatter out.
I know, seriously.
I remember
it's around
that
here somewhere. Yeah. But no, so we were talking about it, and there's been situations in the past where, like, who knows, like the right thing or the wrong thing. Like some people say that you should that it's okay to spank the kids. Some people don't do it at all. And I mean, I think, well, at least when it comes to me, like it has to be something that it's just done over and over. And I can't even remember the last time. But when it does happen, it's just kind of like a swat on the ass. Like my rule has always been like, I don't use anything at all. Like it's just my hand. And the most is like, I'll give them 3 swats on the ass and that's it.
But why did you say your hand? Like you think it's worse if it's a belt?
Because I want to feel like if it stings my hand.
I see. Gotcha. Okay.
Then I know it stings their butt.
Okay.
Like I don't want to use a belt. I can't feel what the belt's feeling.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm just whipping that belt around.
Yeah.
Or the freaking flip-flop or whatever, But
is that why you use your hand?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But
focus. Focus. Parenting.
That always distracts you. When you start dirty talk and you get distracted.
Shut up.
But no, so that's
you see my halo, right?
What halo?
I have a halo.
I deleted that off of the podcast art. No more halo for you. So anyway, but we were talking about. I was talking to one of the guys at work about that, and I've had a situation where like our 2 kids, Audrey likes to mess with Joey. Like she'll pick him, and pick at him, and he gets frustrated.
He's the same way.
They do it back and forth, but Joey has a problem keeping his hands to himself. Like he will slap her, or he'll freaking do something. But it's not like she's all innocent.
Yeah. Because
she'll mess with him until she pisses him off, and then he slaps her, and then she cries.
Right.
And even though she's bigger, whatever. Anyway, so there's been a couple times where like them already, and I hear like a loud slap, and I hear her scream, and then I'm getting mad at Joey.
Right.
Because in my mind I already know what he did.
Yeah.
He slapped the shit out of her, and she's fucking crying, right?
Yeah.
So I go and I freaking smack him on the ass.
Yeah.
It's just instinct.
Yeah.
And
then you come to find out.
And then you come to find out that, she was the one that was messing with him. Yeah. Doesn't make it okay that he slapped her. But if I would have known that she was the one fucking with him and just picking at him and just driving him insane, and then he slapped her, I would have been like, you don't hit your sister, and you stop messing with your brother.
Right.
Instead of spanking him.
Yes.
And one thing that we were talking about this at work. One thing that I think I kind of realized is anytime, let me explain this first. There's been other instances where, we tell them something, or they do something that's wrong, and then they get spanked. What I found is that whenever it's like an instant reaction, it's usually wrong. Like, I feel bad for having spanked them. So that's something that, like, I don't do.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Ask questions
because you feel
before you react.
You feel like an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Like after, like you spank them, and then you find out, and you're like, oh fuck, I can't believe I did that. Now I gotta go. And I'm sorry.
But you apologize.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But the best thing is just not to have that situation.
Yeah.
So I think anytime that it's going to be like an instantaneous reaction, it's just like wham, smack him on the ass or whatever.
Yeah.
That's probably like, take a second.
Right.
Find out what happened. Mm-hmm. And then if it comes down to like, hey, maybe they need a spanking or a couple swats on the butt, whatever. All right, cool. But at least that you kind of went through the steps.
And I think that's with everything. And you could have been frustrated that day too.
I could have been very frustrated. You could have been
very busy, frustrated jerk.
Yes. And that adds to it. Yeah. And that makes you even quicker to react.
So I've been on this emotional binge like all week. I don't know. So I started cleaning up the office, getting it ready for our podcast room. And I was going through all our paperwork and our books because I was getting our books organized. And I came across the journals that I have for the kids. So when I found out that I was pregnant, I purchased a journal and I started writing in this journal how I felt. So I was pregnant.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was just... Go ahead.
Okay.
Nothing.
So I started just writing this in this journal because I wanted Audrey to have something that was personal, something from me. So God forbid, if something happens to me, this is like my book to her.
Yeah.
And I started reading it and it took me back to like her first word, her first step, her first day in school, and how loving this child is, the things that she would say and things that she would do. And I'm over here sitting in my office, like bawling like a baby, and I'm still feeling it. I'm just like, but I'm so glad that I did that for her.
That's cool.
Because she absolutely loves that. And I have pictures of me, like, when I was 4 months, when I was 6 months, when I was 8 months, so she can see it, Yeah. So if you, have the chance, if you're pregnant now or thinking of getting pregnant, I would highly suggest and not only to do the journal, but to be consistent. Because I noticed it's so sad. But once Joey came along,
it's always like that.
The writing kind of dwindled. But she almost has a whole book.
Yeah.
Now, Joey's journal, let me tell you. That poor kid, he's going to be like, Mommy, what happened?
You don't love me.
But he was a pain in the ass. His book would be like, kid, you didn't let me sleep. You're screaming all the time. You're such an angry child, just like your daddy. No.
You have a constant whine. Oh, it was, I remember when he was a baby, it was just, if he wasn't crying, he was just like, it was just like, it was a constant sound coming out of that kid of, like he just wasn't happy.
Yeah. I'm just like, God got me. Because what happens is God is going to give you your first child's going to be great, like independent and everything that you ever thought of, and Audrey would entertain herself.
Yeah.
Like that little girl was sleeping throughout the night. Like she was just so
Joey,
easy.
you had to hold him. You had to be there. Yeah. You couldn't put him down.
So then I'm like, hey, and then in the journal I read, and we actually planned for Joey. Like I have it written in the book when you and I decided that we were going to have another baby.
Really?
And neither one were mistakes.
Like you mentioned it earlier in the week, but I didn't remember.
So cool. Like
us
it's
actually
in there.
Talking about it.
Yeah. And then we ended up getting pregnant. Like we went to work right away because we got pregnant shortly after.
Yeah. Like 27 seconds later.
Right. But it was so cool to and I still have that, and that's for her.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
And Joey is a sweetheart too.
No, he is.
Like I had an amazing day with him yesterday. Like it was just me and him. He loves the same things that I love, and we just hung out all day. I was in basketball shorts, he was in his pajamas. We laid down and we watched Dragon Ball Z, and we were loving it. We were just hanging out.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, he likes it too. So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, at work this week we got a new guy. We seem to be getting a bunch of new guys. Not on my team, but on the as far as the mechanics go. We're all the same team, whatever. But we got the mechanics, we got a couple new guys. And I've told you before about some of the jokes that we like to play on the new guys.
They're really good. I don't know how you guys come up with these jokes. Like you guys must have a lot of time on your hand.
No, it doesn't take time. We just kind of think of it as we go. But actually, for anybody that's been in the military, that's something that I think most of the military, or at least in our career field, being mechanics or whatever, like we just love playing jokes on each other or playing pranks. Like it's just funny. Like I remember being in the military, working on F-16s. Right off of the front of the F-16, there's a probe that takes air data. And we would get the guys to put their lips on the probe, and we would tell them that we had to check the gauges that are in the cockpit. So you have to blow on it because the jet has to make pretend. So they got to blow
on the gauge in the cockpit.
No, they're blowing on the probe outside the jet. And we're telling them that we're watching inside the cockpit. But this has to simulate a jet flying. And these things fly fast. So you have to blow so that we can see the gauge moving. And they'd be sitting there blowing. And we're like, I don't see it moving. Keep blowing. And so they would do that. And then on the back of the jet, there's this huge... It has a huge engine, the exhaust. And we would tell them that we need an exhaust sample. So you got to get a garbage bag and you have to collect some of the exhaust. And this thing is freaking blowing all over the place and it's blowing the bag out of their hand. So we would play all kinds of pranks. But here recently at work, we've played a few pranks. One that you may not find very funny. The one where like I was super religious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you found it very funny. There's a lot of people that thought it was hilarious. I didn't find it funny.
Anyways, let's talk about the recent one because that one's funny.
Yeah, I also had like some anger issues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one, I had people that were set up, like they would come to me and I would just blow up on them, like just lose it. And this guy was like, damn, this dude's a total asshole.
So Miguel's an inspector. So a lot of the times the mechanics come to him so that he can look over the work. Because I don't know if you even mentioned what you do. So... he has to look over the work. So he does, he communicates a lot with the... Yeah,
of course. Like we work hand in hand. So anyway, they got a new guy. So we thought that the new prank was going to be that I have like a short-term memory loss. Like I just have a really hard time remembering stuff.
Like on 51st Dates, if you've ever watched
Very similar, yeah. But we got to try and make it believable because the shit's hard to believe, right? So the other day... there's this new guy, and I haven't even met him yet. He's kind of like sitting off to the side, and I go up to the other guy who's in on it, and I walk up to him, hey, what's up, man? And I give him a fist bump. And he's like, hey, Miguel, did you sign off that stuff we were working on earlier, the barrier? And I just kind of look at him confused. I'm like, the barrier? And he's like, yeah, me, you, and Tim, we were working on the barrier earlier. Did you get a chance to sign that off? And I'm just kind of like, and then I'm like, oh, the barrier. And I was like, I don't remember. I was like, let me go check. So I turn around and I walk away. And I walk like 25, 30 feet away, like to the center aisle of where I work. And then I stopped. And then I just kind of looked around. And then I turned around and I started walking back to the guy. And he looks, because he's good too. He's like, the barrier. The barrier.
Yeah. And this guy's in on it.
Yeah, he's in on it. And then I'm like, that's right, the barrier. And I turned around and I walked back to my desk. And that dude was probably looking at like, what the hell?
What is wrong with this guy?
The day after that, because we're giving it a little bit of time. We don't want to make it weird. So I still haven't like officially met the guy. So I run into him and I look at him. I was like, hey, are you new? And he's like, yeah. I was like, hey, what's going on, man? Nice to meet you. My name's Miguel.
But you've already been introduced to him.
I haven't. No, this is my first time. It was just me and him, and I introduced myself to him. And then that was in the beginning of the day. And then at the end of the day, he was doing something, and he's standing there with one of the other guys, and I'm talking to him. And then I look at him. I was like, have we met before? And he kind of like smiles, like, are you serious? And before he could say anything, I was like, Miguel, nice to meet you. And I stick my hand out, and he's like, yeah, we met earlier today. And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like sometimes I have trouble, I have a lot of trouble remembering things sometimes. And he's like, no, it's all good. But he kind of thinks like something's weird.
Yeah.
So we kind of left it at that. But nobody has told him that this is what I have yet.
Nice.
So it's kind of building up. And then I think somebody's going to talk to him probably this week coming up. But I got to keep a little notepad in my back pocket because they're going to tell him like, look at Miguel. You'll see he's always writing stuff down. Because he forgets a lot. So if he writes it down while he's doing it, he'll know that he looked at it and he saw it.
Yeah.
Like he'll remember you after a couple weeks, after he's seen you every day for a while.
Right.
But it's going to take a little while for him to remember. He forgets things like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I'll be messing with him.
Look how organized your notes are.
I know, it's because I forget stuff. So that's just
I'm a hot mess.
Yeah. So that's just, we got to keep it fun.
Yeah.
We do a lot of serious work. We got to keep it fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how was your work week? You were handing out some of those chill pills.
Oh, yeah.
You had a great response with that stuff.
I really did. So at Trust Inc., just building up my clientele and letting people know, who we are and what makes us so different. We're, mobile notary agency and we have ongoing training. Anyways, I just did a post on Facebook, and the chill pills was a great idea. I should have brought me a little jar. I mean, it was such a great idea. I got so many requests that we had to actually order another case of the jars. And so what it is, escrow officers, it's just a stressful environment. I used to work for a title for 2 years.
A title company?
Yeah, for lawyers' title, escrow. And so I understand what they go through. And so you helped me with the labels. Thank you, baby. It looks really good.
Yeah, they came out good.
Chill pills.
Thanks.
And in the back, it just says something like, take as many as needed for stress,
it's kind of like
anxiety,
the directions
drama.
to a medicine.
Yeah.
Right?
And the warning.
Yeah.
May cost weight gain.
And addiction.
Yeah. But they totally loved it. And it went
and it's M&Ms
very
in a
well.
jar. Yeah.
Yeah, M&Ms in a jar. So that went very well. I got some new clientele. I got a lot of work to do regarding that on Monday. So just following up and all that other good stuff. But I met some great people through that.
And somebody said that you were very clever.
Yes. And that affected me a little bit when they said that because...
Kind of like sneaky.
Yeah. Yes. And he's a really good friend and he didn't mean anything by that. But that was something that's weird though, because it's like, maybe that's something I have to work on.
It's kind of like hustler. Like when somebody would call you a hustler, you didn't like that.
No.
But hustler's not bad. Like it means you hustle, you work.
Yeah. Or when they're like, oh, you're in sales kind of deal, because when I picture sales, I picture that's it. Yes, I'm an influencer, baby. Like I'm here to help people, and that's weird though. See, but I am in sales.
Yeah,
but it's just I don't know. Maybe it's because whatever the word. When I think of a salesperson, I think of that person who is like on you, who makes you feel uncomfortable, who you're running away from.
After you sign something, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, and me, I don't see myself as that person. Yeah. Right. So,
I got you.
Yeah.
So but that was good.
Oh, guess what else? Well, you know this, but I got back in the gym.
Okay.
And I absolutely love the gym. So it's not that I've been avoiding the gym. It's just that, sorry, our daughter's asking us if it's okay to come out. So thumbs out.
We're not done yet. Get upstairs.
Now.
So
but
you're back in the gym.
I enjoy it. I really do. It was just honestly finding the time, making the time, because I started going to jujitsu with them and I liked it, but I didn't like
feeling banged up.
Yeah. I mean, not in that way, No,
like banged up physically.
So
like your back hurts,
I got back in the
bruises
gym.
everywhere.
Yeah. So I got back in the gym and I try to keep it light because Miguel always tells me, why do you go back and you hit it so hard where you can't even walk? You can't even.
Yeah, you couldn't walk. You started the gym again and then you couldn't walk for like the next 2 days.
Oh, I was walking fine because I wasn't doing heavy weight. I was doing high reps.
What do you consider fine?
Like I was good. I mean, I felt like I had Charlie horses in my hamstrings.
The stairs on your hands and knees?
I felt like I had Charlie horses in my hamstrings. It was really painful. But I thought like, oh my God, like, could you imagine? I mean, how fit I would be, like how, you know what I'm saying? Because if you look at my picture from last summer, like my abs, like everything was like on point, like it looked good, And if I would have just kept it consistent, they look fine. Yeah. I mean, they're not bad, but still.
No, yeah, of course.
Hey, but still.
Yeah, but still.
But I just thought, if I just stayed consistent and make it part of my life, like it's part of my day, it's part of things that I have to do. Like there's no if, ands, or buts. And because that's my stress reliever and I enjoy doing it, make it fit in.
Yeah.
Because when I came home that day, even at the gym, like I just felt so good. I felt so good. Like I felt balanced. Yeah. And being out of the gym, I wanted to kill everyone around me. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
And
that's something that really helps you.
Yeah. And then I realized that you and I, our weakness, like we have similar weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like when we're happy.
When it comes to food.
And yeah, like it's comfort for us.
Yeah.
Like
when we go off, we go hard with the food.
Yeah.
Like it's all bad.
But it's the cuddle time.
But
it
feels
amazing.
It feels good.
Like I told him, like it's like NyQuil for me. Those carbs, like, and then we'll have it like yesterday. I mean, come on. Sunday.
Oh yeah. Yesterday,
Sunday,
this morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning. It was a freaking mess.
I mean, yeah. Pizza,
no, it's not good.
Wings. It's not good. but I think that just needs to be a balance. Like I'm not going to deprive my body. I love ice cream. Why can't I have ice cream? Who says I have to eat the entire gallon? But I can eat 2 scoops and it's okay. Especially if you're working out. What do you mean no?
Well, maybe for you. I feel like a crackhead. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to have 1 bite of ice cream.
No, 1 bite's not going to work.
With, like,
I said 2 scoops.
Dripping off of my chin and the freaking thing is empty and I'm just a mess. Well, I can't. It's hard.
Baby, it's not. I know, but that's why you don't eat from the gallon. You eat from the bowl.
Well, we finished the whole gallon. You know how it starts out? It starts out with me and a spoon with no cup because I'm like, I don't need a cup. I'm just going to get 1 spoon. And then I put that same spoon back into the same half gallon. Yeah. And then I just keep going. And I never need the cup because I just eat right out of the freaking thing. It's a mess.
It's hard for us to say no to each other. Like last night.
Yeah, we trick each other.
I was tired.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cook. You didn't want to cook. What happened? I don't remember.
I don't know. We just ended up.
Yeah. Anyways.
I was out with Joey getting stuff.
Oh, yeah. Audrey and I were out and about too. I'm like, you know what? Why don't you just go pick up dinner?
So we got pizza and wings and whatever. Yeah. But,
yeah. But we'll be back on track on Monday. We'll be good on Monday. No, Today's Mother's Day. I'm having my glass of wine.
And when we stay on it, we usually, we do well. But it's fucking torture.
Totally. Yeah. Like I could fast for 4 days and feel good, feel fine.
No, and I can stay on track for a long period of time, but it fucking sucks. It's torture the whole time. But that's what I'm
saying. There has to be a balance. Too much of anything is just not good. So having that day where we have 2 scoops of ice cream, or we're just chilling, we have a slice of pizza.
So I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast earlier in the week, and I can't remember who he was talking to, but he was talking to somebody about inflammation. Like when you have inflammation, but this has to do with inflammation and cravings. And he was saying that when you have inflammation, that
it's a lack of.
It has something. I can't remember exactly the scientific part about it, but if you have inflammation going on, you're more apt to get cravings for bad things and to give into cravings for bad things.
We got a lot of inflammation going on there, baby.
But yeah, no shit. But that kind of goes to a few weeks, or not a few weeks, but maybe a couple months ago, my schedule changed to this. I start at 5:30 in the morning now.
Yes.
And for the past 2 years, I was getting up at 4:00 in the morning, every single day. I would not miss a day, and I was going out and running 4 miles every morning. And no, I wasn't running 4 miles every morning. It was every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would wake up and I would do pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups at 4:00 in the morning.
He was going crazy. He's driving me crazy.
And then I would work out at work, and then, I wasn't doing jiu-jitsu at the time.
Oh.
So anyway, the holidays came. I kind of, stopped doing that. And I started doing jiu-jitsu, but I never really picked up the running again. Then my schedule changed, and I started work at 5:30 in the morning. So before I was getting up at 4 so that I could be at work at 6. Right. So I could get my workout in and be at work at 6. And then my schedule changed, and now I go in at 5:30. And I was thinking I was like, man, I haven't been running. And I have this feeling inside like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. I'm getting up. And I'm going running. And I got up at 3:30 in the morning now because I'm going in earlier, and I started running. And I did it for 2 weeks, but I noticed that when I got home from work, now I felt like taking a nap. I was freaking tired. And I was working out, and I was going to jiu-jitsu. and I was just tired.
But you made a post. This is where
But
this is going.
I put up a post on Instagram about that.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I got to look at the post again, but I put something on there. You called
yourself out.
Like I did call myself out.
You did.
Like I haven't been sticking to the things that I said that I was going to do.
Yep.
But I did put on there that I failed before,
Yeah.
you know? But it's weird because like some people took it as like, oh, like this is a motivational post or whatever.
Yeah. No.
And if like, you know me, like one thing that I can't stand is fake shit. I can't fucking stand it. But now that I look back at it, it's like I fucking posted a fake post. It's like, oh, look at me at fucking 3:30 in the morning running when I stopped doing it because I felt like it's too tiring. I would be freaking worn out by the time I got home from work. I can't hang out with the kids because I'm trying to fucking take a nap. You know?
That's where having balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I listen to, and it's like, I mean, these people they're intense. Like they get busy.
Yeah.
Right. But when I look at it, it's like, is waking up at 3:30 in the morning to go running, like, am I overdoing it? Like getting up to go running, working out while I'm at work, then going to jujitsu. It's like, is it? And not only that, but I don't enjoy that shit.
No,
I don't enjoy running. I don't enjoy waking up and doing pull-ups and push-ups and all that shit. I go to the gym at work because I feel like I should, like, just to be in decent shape or to be healthy. You know, like, but I don't. It's not like I enjoy it. Some people love it. I can't stand it. So, I'd rather freaking just hang out.
Yeah. So the thing with Miguel, which drives me insane, but also pushes me to become better, to be better, because this man has some crazy ass self-discipline when he's focused. Like you can't tell me nothing to change my mind. Like, this is what I'm doing. And he gets this from his dad. You get this from your dad, because when your dad goes hard, he goes freaking hard. And that's something you mentioned before, like, oh my God,
I mean, he was,
but you got that in you.
He was a world champion fighter in the 70s.
Yeah. You know, but you got that
he was
same
obsessed.
Mentality. You have that.
Yeah.
You really do. You know,
it depends on what it is.
And it's good because when I saw him doing that, it's like, all right.
He doesn't even like it.
I do. So what the hell? You know, and I started running with you. You know, and I know I can't use this as an excuse, whatever, but like the whole knee and the sciatic nerve, like, you know, and I don't enjoy running. I rather go to the gym, bust out, do some weightlifting, you know, and jump rope. Now that I enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that life is too short. Like, I'm not saying to go pig out and never to exercise. I'm telling you to stretch yourself, to challenge yourself, but to have a balance.
Yeah.
You know, you work out every day at work when you're there. You go to the jujitsu. You know, it's not like we're pigging out every day.
Like, we do control ourselves the majority of the time.
During the week.
Yeah.
Like, we're really good during the week.
And it's not even just during, like, it's most of the weekend too.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go off. But
so it's like, okay, baby.
No, it's
Don't
all
be so
good.
hard on yourself.
It's all good. No, and that's what, like, I started thinking to myself. I was like, you know what? I don't like it. I'm not gonna do it. But at the same time, when you tell yourself something like that, like, I'm also thinking to myself, is this like for real? Am I just being a pussy right now? Like, what's up? Like you kind of, you know what I mean?
Especially to what the podcast you listen to, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're like, stop being a bitch.
But you know what really made me think about it though, is that even the guys that I listen to, like, they're intense dudes. Yeah. But they weren't getting up at 3:30 in the morning. Right. And I was like, fuck, maybe I'm overdoing this shit, you know? So, but I'm not letting go of everything. You know, I still got to do what I got to do. Yeah. But you got to find the balance. And the other thing that it made me think about was when you post, like, somebody told me, or kind of like when we went to the fight, you know, one of our friends mentioned about the post that I had put up. And what if that post motivated somebody else that maybe isn't in shape to go out and run, to start getting into shape? Yeah. So let's say it was a fake bullshit post, right? But what if it helped somebody else out? Is that a bad thing? Kind of like when we look at the like the charity posts You know, like somebody that posts something, or like those YouTube videos. You know how it's like, oh, a homeless guy's reaction when you give him $100. It's like, that's a fucking dick move. Like you're giving a homeless guy $100 while you're recording it just so that, because you know people are gonna click on it.
Yeah.
It's not because you really want to give a homeless guy $100, but the homeless guy got $100. You know, like if it, you know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of more. It's more, I don't know if impressive is the right word, but when you hear about somebody that's been doing something and not saying anything about it, like it seems more genuine. You're like, fuck, man, that's a good person.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing this the whole time. They didn't say shit. They didn't want any recognition. They actually did it because they wanted to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I've sent out those packages to Afghanistan and stuff like that, and I felt weird posting about it.
Yeah.
But the way I always also looked at it is like, well, what if somebody else? Because I always made sure that I put the link of the charity in there. You know, adoptaplatoon.org. I always put that in there because I was like, look, and in my post I always put like, if you want to do it, then you can do it here, because that's more what I want. It wasn't like oh, look at me. It's like, hey, you guys can do this too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess there's a balance in that too.
Yep. There's a balance in everything.
Right.
And that's the challenge, is finding that balance. Because I remember I used to tell, ask my business partners, how do you find balance between family, business, and having a life? You know? It's figuring it out. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, but I wanted to bring this up because, as I said, I was cleaning the office and I came across this book. And so know that Miguel and I have been working on a relationship for a while. Like, we always work on us. Who got you that book? I don't even remember. If you're watching this, it's called Our Q&A a Day. 365 questions, 3 years, shared answers. So it's a 3-year journal for 2 people.
Yeah, so it's got
so
questions,
cool.
And then each year you can answer it.
Yeah. So,
you know who got you that book?
Who?
Me.
You did? That's checked.
The asshole over here on this microphone got you that book. The angry guy.
The angry guy. But baby, I don't say you're not always angry.
Just kidding. Yeah.
You're a sweetheart, you know?
Yeah.
Trust me. I said I do to you.
I know. I
said
just
I do.
I'm just messing
There's a
with
reason why I said I do. But I came across this. This is funny, babe. I forgot you bought this for us. Anyways, I came across it and we started writing in it in 2017. And we did pretty good. And then it dropped off. And so I was reading through it.
Consistency.
And crying at the same time when I was reading my children's journal, because we've came such a long way. Like, you started working out, because this is in 2017, and it asked, jot down one positive change you've already made this year. And I put, no fears or worries. God is in control. My journey is just starting. You put, started eating healthier and working out. Lost 3.5 pounds. So this was very.
So I was still like almost 200 pounds then.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Like, to read this?
Holy crap. So that was January 2017?
Yeah. And then January 15th, it says, what irritates you? Feeling out of control, business and family, feeling that I should be further in life.
That was me or you?
That was me.
That was you.
Me. And today, I mean, I feel different.
Yeah.
I feel like I have more control. And my family, our family life is on point, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I knew back then I had everything different. Like, it was business and family. Today, it's faith, family, finances.
Yeah. That's cool.
And you put, work is, what did you put?
I don't know.
Anyways, but it's so cool to go back and read.
So what irritates you? Work that is lazily done.
Oh, that's what that says, lazily done. You know, but it's cool to read back and see that even in here, like, there was an entry where I wrote that you were working all the time. And that's something that irritated, because you were working nights.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And there wasn't a
working
lot of
nights is tough
time.
because you're working and then overtime happens when everybody's doing stuff and you're missing out on that too. So, yeah.
So anyways, just so you all know, we have
That's a
been
good
working
book.
on us for
That's a good book.
quite some time, and we always focus on how we can become better
Yep.
You know?
That's the goal.
as a couple. And so that's the thing. If you feel that there's something missing, you know, that you feel that disconnected from your other partner, is to reconnect and figure it out. You know, if you have a couple in your life that is in love and been married 25 years, 50 years, they've gone through some things. Trust me, they've gone through some things, and they were probably went through some things that you're going through currently in your life. And that's one thing that I've learned to do is sit down, take time, ask questions. And obviously you have done the same, because this is something that you purchased for us.
Yeah.
You know, and another thing is the book, The 5 Love Languages. And I think that's going to be a whole nother podcast because we're running out of time. But that book in itself helped us to reconnect and to love each other the way we want it to be loved versus loving each other the way we want it to be loved. Like I was loving you the way I wanted you to love me, and you were loving me the way I wanted to love you. And once we recognized that, we started to love each other the right way. And I feel that that's when our bond got
Everything
stronger.
has helped a little bit. Everything has helped us, you know, a little bit. Even if it's a little bit, yeah. Every obstacle, book, everything. It's all helped a little bit.
So, I'm excited for this next segment because he's kind of hot.
We're about to get a hurricane back here.
Did you think? I know. I noticed like it's getting pretty.
Clouds
windy.
are coming in.
Hopefully,
But
our
anyway,
tree doesn't
let's
fall
go.
over on us. So we're going to get into our Mexican motivational minute with Miguel, the landscaper. So
What
one of
happened?
our lists.
What's happening?
What's happening? ¿Qué pasó, Maine?
What's happening?
What's happening? So one of our listeners, Mario, wants to know how to get the ladies.
So, there's a question for Miguel, the landscaper?
Yes.
Okay, well, you're coming to the right place, my friend. Because one thing, Miguel knows two things.
Okay.
Only.
Only.
Well, no, he knows a lot of things, but two things, he's an expert. Expert in two things.
He
Okay?
meant to say expert.
That's what I say.
Okay,
One
sorry.
thing is a landscaping, and the other one is the ladies. So he coming to the right place.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
hey, you want to help with the ladies? It's okay. We got it right here for you.
Okay.
So we got to. What you gotta do? You gotta talk to the ladies. You started like a landscaper. You can be a landscaper. That's a good way to pick up the ladies if you want. You know. But
Mowing their lawn.
you start. You come over like, hey, señorita, how you doing? I want to see your bush. How you got to trim? You want me to trim? You want a little bit on the top, or
No,
you want
wait.
What happened?
Mario.
It's
I
okay.
mean, Miguel.
Sí,
He
señora,
wants to
what happened? You
find a good lady.
I know.
Like he wants to get a
listen,
lady.
You gotta ask the important questions first.
The bush.
The bush is. You want me to trim it all, or you want me to leave a little bit on the top, or what happened? Because we can trim it like we get it all nice and it's all gone.
Okay.
I'm talking about the bush, you know.
Okay.
So important question.
And that's how he's going to get the ladies.
Well, you know, and then she invite you inside, a glass of lemonade or chata, whatever you want. It's okay.
Okay.
One thing leads to another, and you know, and then you got a lot of lawns to mow. There's a lot of lawns in the neighborhood, so you don't. You cannot only go to one lawn and think that this is the one for you. Make a sense? Or no?
So how do you
There's
get...
a lot of lawns in the neighborhood, in the landscaping business.
Okay.
If you understand.
So how do you pick which one is the good lawn?
Well, you got to try them all. You know what I'm saying? You go here, you go there, a little bit of something, and they help you out. You know, but it's okay. We got it.
okay.
We got it the best. You find it the best lawn when you try them. Make sure that you you help with the ladies.
So that's how you get a lady, a marriage material lady, is try all the lawns.
My wife, she's in the tree cutting it down right now, but she doesn't like it with the ladies.
You mean your girlfriend?
See, she's pregnant in the tree. She's chopping it down, but anyway, it's okay. You gotta ask her the right questions.
Okay.
So
there you go.
Maybe next time we get a little bit more a little bit more information.
There you go, Mario. So in order to get the ladies,
I hope
you gotta ask them.
I hope that helps you. It helps other people listening out there. Okay. We help for you. Okay.
So you trim the bushes and you try all the lawns.
Oh man,
that was good.
So thank you,
Thank you, Miguel.
thank you to our listeners out there. There's one that has listened to every single podcast. I hear about it all the time. I want to say thank you to Blake. He's been listening since the first one. Like he always asks me like, when's the next one coming out? So I wanted to give a shout out.
He's the one
to Blake.
who draws dicks on my husband's vehicle.
All right, I thought we weren't going to talk about that anymore because now he's going to draw more.
Oh, sorry.
So but really, so everybody that listens, we appreciate it. Thank you very much to the tens of listeners that we have out there. Thank you.
And please share the love, subscribe.
I mean, if you're already listening to it, obviously subscribe.
Questions. We need more questions.
Yeah, parenting, questions for Miguel the landscaper.
Yes.
Business, whatever, anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's been a good episode. So just to remind you guys, this podcast is brought to you by TrustIncUSA.com. That's TrustIncUSA.com. And Trust Inc. You can take it away, babe.
We provide mobile notary services to individuals, for law firms, as well as title companies. We have certified signing agents nationwide. And by the way, if you have a favorite escrow officer, please feel free to just drop it in the comments or leave it on Facebook. And I would love to stop by and personally take them a jar of chill pills on your behalf. We are also independent legal... Sorry, my kids. We are also independent associates with Legal Shield, and with Legal Shield, we provide attorneys at the palm of your hand at affordable price. So with that, I'll pass it back over to you.
So that's at TrustIncUSA.com.
Yes.
And also, don't forget to share this podcast with the people that you know. If you go to our podcast page or our podcast group, also on our personal pages, you can find links to the podcast. So yeah, if you could, that would be awesome if you can share the podcast. Our website is oppositesattractpod.com. And that right now will forward you to our Facebook page. We also have the Facebook group. We also have the Twitter, Instagram, and that's all at Opposite Pod. You can find us there. And the podcast is also on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. It's on all the podcast apps. We're working on the last couple, but it's pretty much out everywhere. It's available everywhere, and we'd appreciate it if you share. Thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.